Good morning, everyone. Good morning. You do not have to go home, but you do have to get out of here if you're not a Transportation Committee member or you want to hear what's about to happen. Thank you for clearing the room. Commissioner, you're welcome to stay. Funny how folks are acting like transportation's a big deal this year or something. What's up with that? Anyway, we are behind. We do like to be punctual around here. We're running a little bit behind, and it appears that we have most of our faces and our bright shiny faces in the right places. So let's get commercial. Mr. and Mrs. Clerk, or excuse me, Mr. and Ms. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Representatives Alexander, Barrett, Boyd, Burkhart, Camper, Clemens, Faison, Freeman, Garrett, Hale, Hardaway, Haston, Hazelwood, Holsclaw, Johnson, Lynn, Marsh, Moon, Powers, Sparks, Thompson, Towns, Vital, Williams, Zachary, Vice Chairman Bricken, Chairman Vaughn. Mr.
Here.
Chairman, you have a quorum.
All righty, thank you very much. That was, I will know, it's Mason and Rachel are our two clerks today. Our attorneys are not with us today because it is bill filing deadline. So I gave them an excused absence, but Lovin is checking us out on live stream. So everybody give a shout out to Lovin Middleton Dunn. And also working in the committee this year is going to be Matt King as her backup. Owen Rosenberg, really proud of Owen. Owen has been my LA for the last few years. He is now our committee research analyst. And Ryan Barker is my new legislative assistant. Where's Ryan? Ryan's back there. So if you need anything involving the committee, these guys are the ones that can help you out. Also, this being a full committee, we are supported by two subcommittees. Clark Boyd is the Business and Utilities Subcommittee Chairman. Where's Clark? I know he had. All right, and he tried to take the day off and sled a little bit, but I guess Miss Jada must have kicked you out of the house and told you going back to work. And Dennis Powers is our Banking and Consumer Affairs Subcommittee Chairman, and then our capable Vice Chairman down here in front of me and to the right is Rush Brickens. What we're going to do today, one of my pet peeves is wasting time. When people waste my time, I tend to not like that, but I've just got to tell you, today we're going to do some necessary wasting. We have new members sitting here, This is one of their first committee meetings. That's a big deal. So we want to talk to them and welcome them. Also, I think it's important because maybe, I'm not so sure that this committee couldn't be labeled a think tank. There's so much intelligence horsepower sitting behind this. I sit and think, when I saw the roster of committee members, I thought, man, I hate they've already learned how to split the atom because this group may have been able to figure that out for them. So what I'd like to do is, what we deal with here in this committee is a lot of policies that impact businesses around the state. I think it's important that people know who we are that make these decisions. Sometimes we can make businesses nameless. Everybody likes to think of them as the nameless, faceless corporation, but really businesses send paychecks home to people. Businesses return equity and dividends to shareholders. They provide a way of life that allows each of us to achieve more than hopefully the previous generation of our families have. So I take our role very seriously here. But taking your role seriously doesn't mean that you can't enjoy yourself, but we do have to consider how we handle our business and handle it expeditiously and not waste time. So what I'd like to do is let's start down there with my dear, dear friend from Davidson County. And what I'd like, all right, so other than all of our overwhelming, burning desire to serve the public, tell us who you are, area you serve, what you do for a living, and if you are retired, then what you did in your last job before you retired. And with that, Representative Clemens, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm not as old as you, so I haven't retired yet. My name is John Ray Clemens. I represent District 55, and thanks to you fine folks, I've got a brand new district that includes most of southeast Nashville, stretches from Hobson Pike and South Antioch all the way up to Belmont University. I'm proud to represent the most diverse district in the state of Tennessee, and proud to be a member of this committee, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. And I'm an attorney, so I'm not yet retired, though my law partner wonders where I am pretty often because of this job. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We knew that with those new district boundaries, there wouldn't be a more capable member that could serve that community. So just want you to know that we know what you do and we appreciate you. By the way, I've got to say that this is a bipartisan think tank too. There's a lot of strength from all sides of the aisles on this. Representative Sparks.
Thank you, Mike Sparks, represent District 49 out of Smyrna, Laverne, North Rutherford County. Born and raised in Smyrna. Been married 34 years this April to my lovely wife, Felicia. We just picked up a grandbaby last month, and my mother passed. She's 91, passed in December. Thank God. She was a good woman, strong woman of faith, but then we picked up the grandbaby, so it was nice. Started my first business at 21, saved up 10 grand and borrowed 10 from my late World War II father. He charged me 10% interest on it, paid him back. Worked at Nissan. My dad was very frugal. But he taught me a lot of discipline and frugality. And, you know, if you give your word to somebody, you better stand behind it. I've wrote a couple of books. My latest is called How to Do More with Less During Tough Times. While I was sitting here listening, I was studying the Home Affordability Index. There's not much affordability out there, especially in my community. These are things that, you know, you mentioned think tank. I wish we did have more think tanks, whether it's TSU, MTSU, UT, Memphis, or whatnot, whether it's Vanderbilt, helping us to study these issues. I really worry where the future of this nation is. Worry about the $31 trillion worth of debt, the 1.7 trillion debt. Got two sons, Preston and Peyton, but I'd love to serve on this committee with you, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Sparks. How about you, Representative Lynn?
My name is Susan Lynn, and I represent the 57th District, which is primarily Mount Juliet and unincorporated Old Hickory and Hermitage. Our vice chairman took most of the rest of my former district. He did in reapportionment, but that's okay. We love sharing the county together. For work, I am a financial controller, or the financial controller for a company in Mount Juliet, and we have 250 employees, and we're just so proud to have a company where we can make sure people make a good living, and they have insurance, health insurance available to them, and we're just very, very proud of everybody working together and making this really great company in Mount Juliet. And other than that, I am married. I have 2 adult children who are both married, and they've given us 6 fantastic grandchildren, and 3 are in Wilson County schools, and 3 live in Nebraska. Shed a tear. But thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative. Chair Lady Hazelwood.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I represent District 27, which is the western side of Hamilton County. It's the prettiest part of the state. And I have the mountains, Signal, Lookout, and Elder. I have the river coming into Chattanooga, and I have the lake, Soddy Daisy, and Red Bank. So it's a district I'm very proud to serve. It did change a little bit with the last redistricting, and picked up a few more constituents towards downtown, and I'm happy to serve them as well. Before this gig, I am retired. I was in telecommunications for most of my career. I started a bank along with 12 other people in Chattanooga. And my last paying job was working for the Department of Economic Development under Governor Haslam. So just happy to be here and be a part of this committee.
Thank you so much. Vice Chairman Brickens.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Rush Bricken. I'm from the 47th District, which is Coffee and Grundy County, which is dead center between Chattanooga and Nashville. I am somewhat retired. My career covers two areas. I was a practicing CPA for half of it and retired as CEO of Coffee County Bank, where I'm still on the board. I got a great family, and I'm certainly a pleasure to be here at this committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Representative Vital.
Good morning. I'm Greg Vital. I represent the 29th District, which lies on the western part of the beautiful Tennessee River, flowing to the eastern side of White Oak Mountain in Hamilton County. We have Ooltewah, Birchwood, Georgetown, parts of the city of Chattanooga, one of the fastest growing districts in the state. I'm the president and founder of Morning Point Senior Living. We have 36 senior campuses across 5 states, about 1,800 employees. I started that company 26 years ago. We just finished our 25th anniversary as a company. And as part of that celebration, we did 30,000 community activities across the region with our communities that we do business in and with our staff. So it's an honor to be here, and I consider it the most beautiful part of Hamilton County. Thank you.
I thought you were about to say, I consider it the most beautiful part of the committee structure. Representative Alexander.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm Rebecca Alexander. I am from District 7, which is Washington County, Tennessee. The oldest town in Tennessee is right in the middle of that county, Jonesboro. And also I serve Johnson City as well as part of that county. I share my county with Representative Tim Hicks, and we make a good team covering all of our county. I am married and I have 2 daughters. My husband and I owned a funeral home. He'd been in his family for 91 years, and he retired and sold it in July. So we are doing the retirement thing and learning how to have lunch together when I'm not down here. So it's all good, all great. So I'm glad to be here, glad to serve with you, Chairman.
Thank you, ma'am. Representative Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Dwayne Thompson. I represent District 96, which is all in Shelby County. It's a long, skinny, my new district is a long, skinny district going from touching Chairman Vaughn's district on the east, all the way running, say the river, it's the Mississippi. And I'm retired. I was a human resources professional for a long time. At this point, my job outside of this is helping Grandma and my wife spoil our 5 grandchildren. We have 2 adult children living also within a few minutes of us. And I'm just happy to be here and happy to serve here. I've been on this committee, or its forebear, for the entire time I've been here, and I'm starting my 4th term now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We've got a new member here with us, Representative Burkhart. Well, let's hear your story.
Thank you. I am in a new district in District 75, the western part of Montgomery County, that I share with Leader Johnson, part of that county. I'm a retired assistant fire chief from Clarksville Fire Department, and I'm a small business owner and a small real estate developer, and that is what I do in Montgomery County. And I'm proud to be on this committee, Chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We're glad to have you. Brother Garrett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Johnny Garrett. I represent fine folks in Sumner County and Gilletsville, White House, Hendersonville, just a little bit of Gallatin. I'm a practicing lawyer celebrating my 16th year with Spencer Fane. But my most favorite job is I am still currently the president of Gilletsville Little League Baseball. But at the moment, my most favorite job, Mr. Chairman, and serving on this committee as a brand new member this year with you.
Thank you, Mr. Garrett. Representative Garrett, thank you for pointing that out. I can see that you hold lots of potential, got big things in store for you. Representative Moon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Jerome Moon. I represent District 8, which is the rural portion of Blount County, Seymour, Porter, Wildwood, Lanier, Prospect, Montvale, Carpenter's Grade. And it's a pleasure to serve with my classmates, Chairman Boyd and Chairman Vaughn. We came in the 110th together in the mid-session. My work life was a publisher of a daily newspaper, which was sold January of '90, back when news was the news. Owned a small paper in Virginia. Served on a large bank in Knoxville, which I found very interesting, and the amount of regulation that bankers suffer under is incredible. And it is a pleasure to serve on the Commerce Committee, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I believe we've got Representative Hale down here, brand new face here. Welcome.
Thank you. What an honor it is to be able to serve. Appreciate the appointment by our speaker to this committee. My name is Michael Hale from District 40. I live in Smithville, serve Cannon, DeKalb, Smith, Jackson, and a part of Wilson County with Representative Lynn and Representative Boyd. Own a funeral home. Started working in a funeral home when I was 14. Before that, I was bagging groceries in a grocery store at 11. We own a farm. We've pastored several churches. My wife and I have been married 26 and a half years. Have 3 children, 3 grandchildren. Of course, we had a tragic loss, as many of you know, back in October. But we are very blessed to be able to serve the greatest state in the United States. And I'm just thankful for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Chairman Faison.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jeremy Faison from God's Country, 11th House District, Smoky Mountains. I kill bugs for a living.
Speaker Johnson.
That one's a hard one to follow, Mr. Chairman. I'm Curtis Johnson. I represent the 68th District, which is the eastern part of Montgomery County. Starting my 19th year. I am married to Marcia. We've been married for 42 years. We have 3 children and 5 grandchildren with 1 on the way. I'm a retired small businessman, and I presently serve on a local bank board and just mainly focus on doing public service. What a pleasure it is to serve with you, Mr. Chairman.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaker Marsh.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm really proud to be on this committee under your thumb, and I know you're going to do a great job. And you do have a lot of good members on this committee. I'm impressed. I'm with House District 62, which is Bedford, Lincoln, and Moore. In 2 of my counties, I have some of the Tennessee's most famous products. In Moore County, I have Jack Daniel's Distillery. And in Bedford County, I have our new Uncle Nearest Distillery, which is really growing fast. I've been in the trucking business for around 50 years. In fact, 50 years this year. I'm mostly retired. I have a cattle farm and have about 100 head of cattle. I've been married to my wife, Mary, for 45 years. Wow. And I have 6 grandchildren, 1 on the way. I've been serving up here for 13 years, and I'm excited to be back on this committee. Thank you very much.
Not as excited as we are to have you. And just for those new members here, each week the chairman's office will be issuing a power rankings of the most complimentary members that we have. So just so you know, if you want to make the list, We love to be loved. Chairman Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is really, serving on this committee is really something that I've dreamed about since I was a kid. Lots of children lay in the bed and think about playing baseball or professional basketball or something, but I wanted to be on this committee. And so it's really truly an honor to get to serve with you. I serve 3 counties that surround beautiful Norris Lake, right above Knoxville. I've got Campbell, Union, and Claiborne, and got a beautiful area up there in the mountains. It really is God country up there. But I started in 2010, so this will be my 7th term. So I'm honored to be here. Been in the insurance business now for 33 years. Been married for 35 years to my lovely wife, and I graduated from the school that has the number 2 basketball team in the nation, the University of Tennessee. Number 2. What was Memphis right now? No, that's all. I know. I'm just kidding.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman Powers. You were about to be elevated to the top spot on the power rankings, but you just let that time slip away and couldn't throttle it back. No, I'm very proud of your University of Tennessee Volunteers. We look forward to the day that they get a chance to play for a national title, but I think you've got to go to a Final Four before that happens. So if y'all need any, we've only been to 3 of those, but that's okay. We're not keeping score. My name is Kevin Vaughn. I'm a Taurus. My turnoffs are crowds and rude people. No. No, it's one of the things that I'm the proudest of, and I enjoy as much of anything about serving is serving in this role, because I'm a small business owner. I'm one of these people. I provide real estate consulting advice. I'm also a small real estate developer, but I'm also a licensed consulting engineer and licensed real estate broker. So I'm involved heavily with what this body does for business, both good and bad. And that's one of the things that I'm really going to want to focus on this year is the cost of the rules that we promulgate, or we don't promulgate rules, but the policies that we establish through the Tennessee Code Annotated, because it seems a lot of times we pass bills here that are well-intended, but we sometimes lose track of the cost of the regulatory inflation that the end users are experiencing as a result of it. So what I want to do is, as we go through, I want to put everything through the lens of what's it going to do to the end user and who's going to pay for it. Because just because it doesn't have a fiscal note that is going to cost our state budget money, things that cost money get paid by someone, and who those someones are the people that are driving the inflation in a lot of aspects throughout our communities. And so what I want to do is do what we can do to still serve the public and still provide for a better world, but also be very cognizant of the fact of the cost that we attach to each of these requirements. I am the father of 2. My daughter, I'm gonna fix to be like a Representative Sparks. I'm fixing to pick me up one of those grandchildren. My first one is supposed to be, mine's supposed to be coming sometime around Memorial Day. Supposed to be a little girl. I've already seen the ultrasound of her, prettiest kid I've ever seen. My son is 27. He works for me, and I've been married to both of their mother now, my first wife, for 34 years. I had to, for 34 years in March. So anyway, and as you can tell, I'm a proud graduate of the University of Memphis State University. And next up, we're not going to talk to Owen. Just say that he's gold. He's great. Representative Zachary.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I serve District 14, which is Deep West Knoxville and Farragut. I'm in my 5th term, 2nd term on this committee, 3rd term on this committee. My first term in the legislature, I was under Speaker Marsh. And so I'd say, Chairman, that we have had 2 really fantastic chairmen serving this committee. While I do bleed orange, I did grow up a Memphis State fan, going to Memphis State games. And was it the 85, the Final Four year? 85, the final. Went to many of those games. My grandparents had season tickets. So I did grow up a Memphis State fan. It's an honor to serve. I'm married to my wife, Holly, for 23 years. We have one son, Tyson, who is a senior in high school, actually is on a college visit right now. So that is a weird season to be in when you have an only child. It's an honor to serve, and I look forward to the good work we'll do for the people of the state.
Thank you, sir. Chairman Williams.
Thank you, Chairman. It's a pleasure. I am one of the newbies on this committee, so I'm happy to be on the Committee of Champions for the first time. As you said, my name is Ryan Williams. I'm District 42, which is portion of Putnam County. I was able to give over a portion of my county to the Speaker, so I know what that's like, Representative Clemens. But it's great to have the Speaker in your home county, so it's great. Thanks for the opportunity to serve here. I've been in the legislature since 2010, so 13 years. I really enjoyed it. My wife and I have been married for 26 years. We have 2 children. This is our first legislative session as empty nesters, so we're weird people. So if you see me cowered in the corner, just come over and give me some relief. But really excited to be on this committee and see what we can do for the people of Tennessee. Thanks.
Thank you, Chairman Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's always great to see you, and very excited to serve on this committee. This is the beginning of my 6th year. As Jerome Moon mentioned, the 3 of us came in together in 2018, kind of midterm. I represent the 46th House District. That is the eastern part of Wilson County. My district just got a lot smaller. I used to represent 3 counties, and now I can be anywhere in my district in 10 minutes, and I'm loving that. And I share that county with Representative Lynn and Representative Hale. And like I said, married, all right, I haven't said yet, but I've been married to my wife, Jada, for 20 years. We have 2 children, a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old. And good looking group on this committee, and look forward to serving this year, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. You know, I hearken back to the 110th General Assembly, and it seemed as if it was somewhat of a rudderless ship until the 3 of us showed up at midterm and as red shirt freshmen and provided, you know, we recalibrated everything. And, I think our state has prospered since that time period. We owe you a lot, Chairman Boyd. Representative Barrett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Jody Barrett. I represent the 69th District. I have about 2/3 of Dixon County that I share with Representative Mary Littleton. I also have Hickman County, better known as Kegg County. And I may be the only one here that's not going to be sarcastic about the new district I have. I'm absolutely ecstatic to have Lewis County added to the 69th. In the Speaker's infinite wisdom, he decided that 2 lawyers on this committee was not enough, so he added a 3rd. I've been practicing law for 23 years and representing small business owners throughout my district, setting up corporations, helping them out with different issues that they deal with on a regular basis. I also own a real estate title company, so I tell everybody that I'm a businessman with a law degree. That seems to go over a lot better than saying I'm a lawyer. And unfortunately, I may be the only person in the room as an Ole Miss graduate that does not have an unhealthy hatred for Lane Kiffin.
Leader Camper, I see you down there. Why don't you, we're going first come, first serve. It's your turn to tell us about yourself.
Hi, George, we've got it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think this is my 3rd term now serving on this committee. I serve House District 87. So if you've been to Graceland, you've been in my district. Elvis did not vote for me. FedEx Hub is in my district. Dixon Gallery is in my district. It's a great district for business, which is another reason I'm so grateful to be serving on this committee. I've been in the General Assembly since 2008. I am international and national lip sync champion. So, and I have 1 son, 1 grandson, and I'm a 21-year veteran. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Leader Camper. This chairman appreciates excellence wherever we find it. So the fact that you dominate lip sync contests, that's outstanding. Representative Hardaway, you share a little bit about yourself.
Yes, sir. G.A. Hardaway Sr., and I add the senior because young Al Hardaway II says he does not want to be confused with my public foolishness. So he wants that distinction. And I'm not a lawyer, but he is. So y'all leave me alone. My district is 93, the 93rd House District in the great state of Tennessee. And it's centered around Orange Mound, the historic Orange Mound community, which was the first planned development for Black home ownership in the nation. So I take great pride in representing Orange Mound and the history that has spoken to the creation of wealth in the Black community. So I wanted to make sure I started off with that because I'm trying to get the chairman to endorse a piece of legislation that's going to help Orange Mound with the Industrial Development Corporation. Now that I've got the commercial out of the way, I have 3 children. I've got a beautiful baby girl. Her nickname is Pretty Baby. Don't know how to call her that but her daddy. Better not catch one of these boys calling her that. And I've got 2 boys. One that plays every sport possible. He's an artist, and he's going to be back in school shortly, either to be a physicist or a civil engineer. He got his brains from his mom, and he got his looks from his mom. And my oldest, Al, most of you have seen him grow up on Capitol Hill. He's been coming up here since he was in elementary school or junior high, I can't remember which. And he served on the floor as a page and intern and all that good stuff. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve with this set of legislators. I know most of them personally, and I'm sure that they, like I, have the best interests of our constituents at heart. And while you'll see, I'll never make a moral compromise. I will compromise on how we get there. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, for a chance to share.
Thank you, sir. I think particularly for our new members, as you can tell, we're a jovial group, but we are dead serious about the business that we do here. What I would suggest that you do is, and my helpful hints for all of you, is you are sitting on a committee that has some of the most experienced legislators we've got in the state. There's so much institutional knowledge that is sitting on this dais with you in this committee. Take advantage of that. Just stop and listen and learn to what your fellow committee members have to say, because when you consider the amount of time that they have spent here, and some of these problems that we face have been dealt with before, and if our attempts to deal with them were not successful, they will understand why. And so that's why, in all seriousness, I'm so honored to chair this group, because it is a group that has not only the intelligence, but also the desire to serve the public and make sure that our state remains at the forefront of business growth throughout the nation. Now then, as far as chairman's role goes, just so you know, I see myself as a benevolent dictator. I want everyone there needs to be served from being here. But at the same time, I am a dictator, and this is my committee. And so we'll follow policies and procedures that will keep us in order, that will keep us moving. So, because I think you'll also notice that we don't waste a lot of time here. One thing that I would always encourage you all, and we'll encourage each of our bill sponsors, is let's move testimony to the subcommittee level. Because by the time we've seen it in subcommittee, we have time to beat it up there all we want. If you do not sit on that subcommittee, you do have recorded video that you can watch the subcommittee and do your prep work before we come in here to deal with something. So I'm gonna do my best when people call and ask for the opportunity to testify on something. I'm going to send them to Chairman Powers and Chairman Boyd to get it scheduled so that we can handle it primarily at the subcommittee level. Now then, again, there's so much experience here. Everybody's familiar with the roll call vote. You've got to request the roll call vote prior to any vote, whether it be on an amendment or anything. And once I've made a ruling, I think people know that I'm pretty fair with my hearing around here. There are times I've requested a roll call because I honestly didn't hear the call. 3 committee members' hands can request for a roll call vote. Let's be here at 9 o'clock because we are going to get busy at 9 o'clock. Unless transportation refuses to yield the field at 9 o'clock, we will continue. We will begin here at 9 o'clock. We'll try to give everybody a fair hearing as far as debate on a bill. But if we start beating a dead horse, then I will move it along. If you have somebody, a guest or a testimony, make sure that you give it to any of or make sure that the appropriate committee chairman gets that scheduled 24 hours in advance. We're not going to send out any paper here. We're going to be sending out electronic e-packets. If you need paper like me, I believe you have a printer in your office. Get it busy. Let's see. The other thing is that when it comes to amendments, we're not going to take verbal amendments in here. The only time that I would entertain a verbal amendment is over a misspelling or a Scrivener's error. Those are the only times that I'm going to consider a verbal amendment. We all operate by the same calendar. Everybody's doing the same thing. So what we need to do is make sure, because that's one of the things that's a pet peeve of mine, is that these words on this paper, that with the words that in the bills that we approve, that's what the difference between a good bill and a bad bill is. And so I want to make sure that we see what we're voting on, not what someone thinks that they want to offer as a verbal amendment. And that's just me being a stickler. The other thing too is untimely filed amendments. We can wait another week. And so if you don't get your amendment filed, we're not going to consider it at that time period. So make sure, if you want to amend something, get familiar with the calendar, because this is how we make sure that this train runs on time. Let's keep busy. Let's stay focused on what it is that we're going to do. Now then, again, the benevolent dictator in me, if we can wrap up our committee by taking an untimely filed amendment late in the day, I reserve the right to do that. But as a matter of practice, going through our business, we don't want any late filed amendments to be considered in front of this committee. Anybody have any questions for the chair? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Owen is telling me that I've still got some business to conduct. So anyway, if there's no questions, yes, Representative Hardaway.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Did you start off the personal reveal? Or are you supposed to come after Rep. Camper and myself?
No, sir. I fell in line with these folks up here. But I'll be glad to talk about myself anytime. If anybody wants to hear something, I can talk for days.
Sir, I'll catch it on video. Thank you.
All righty. Let's see. Chairman Powers, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just wanted to recognize somebody from my hometown, Brent McNeely. Do you care to stand or raise your hand? Brent is from, he owns Waldron's Funeral Home, and he's down here this week for a couple of meetings. And he is also on our election commission in our county. And he'll be the one, when I clock out, he'll be the one that'll be putting me under too. So we're glad to have Brent McNeely here today. So thank you all for coming.
Well, welcome very much, and thank you for your service to your community, sir. If I don't have anybody else that needs to say anything, we've got motion. That's non-debatable. All in favor, say aye. We are adjourned.